vast, dark expanse of the early universe. Predominantly hydrogen and helium gases fill the void. Subtle gravitational forces at play, initiating the slow gathering of gases. A close-up view of hydrogen and helium atoms drifting through space, responding to gravity's pull. Gases begin to coalesce, forming denser regions within the vast expanse. An artistic representation of gravity as invisible threads connecting and drawing gases together across the cosmic canvas. Vast expanse of the early universe. Primordial hydrogen and helium gases begin to swirl and coalesce under the force of gravity. Close up on a dense pocket of gas. Particles are drawn closer, accelerating the formation of a cloud. Wide shot of multiple gas clouds taking shape. These are the nebulae, the birthplaces of the first stars. Time-lapse view of a nebula growing in size and density. The swirling gases become more defined and structured. Internal view of a nebula. Intense pressure and heat build within the core as more gas is drawn in. A massive, swirling nebula dominates the frame. It is poised to give birth to the first generation of stars in the universe. Vast, swirling clouds of gas and dust, illuminated by faint, nascent light. Close up on a particularly dense region within the clouds, matter compressing under immense gravity. An intense burst of light erupts from the core of the collapsing matter, signaling the ignition of nuclear fusion. The newly born star glows brightly, pushing away the surrounding clouds with its radiant energy. Wide shot of the early universe, with a newly ignited star as one of the first lights in the darkness. Extreme close-up of hydrogen atoms colliding at immense speeds, merging to form helium. Light erupts from the point of fusion. A wider shot reveals a turbulent sea of plasma, the hydrogen-helium fusion occurring throughout. Energy radiates outwards in all directions. An animated diagram illustrates the nuclear fusion process, highlighting the conversion of mass into energy according to E equals mc circumflex 2. From a distance, the core glows intensely, a miniature sun within the larger star. Streams of photons surge outwards. A time-lapse sequence shows the accumulation of helium, gradually changing the core's composition over eons. The star shines brighter. Extreme close-up of helium atoms colliding and fusing within the star's core, creating a burst of light and energy. A wider shot reveals the formation of carbon atoms from the fusion of helium, visualized as glowing spheres merging together. The process of oxygen creation is shown, with carbon atoms further fusing with helium, emitting intense radiation. Nitrogen synthesis is depicted, showcasing a complex interaction of particles resulting in the formation of new, heavier elements. An overview of the stellar core, now abundant with carbon, oxygen, and nitrogen, highlighting the ongoing cycle of nuclear fusion. Extreme close-up of atomic nuclei fusing, building heavier elements ending with iron. The process is vibrant and energetic. Wide shot of the star's core. Regions of nuclear fusion are layered like an onion, iron accumulating at the very center. Close up on the iron core. The fusion process slows, energy diminishes, a sense of impending doom is visually conveyed. Medium shot of the core beginning to collapse. Iron atoms are crushed together. Light and energy begin to fade. A simulation of gravity overwhelming the core. Matter implodes violently. Colors shift to deep reds and blacks. Extreme wide shot of the star from the outside as it implodes. A supernova is imminent. A blinding flash of light erupts. A massive star, nearing the end of its life, glows with intense heat and light. Its surface roils with nuclear activity. Deep within the star, the iron core begins to collapse. Gravity crushes the core, initiating a rapid implosion. The implosion accelerates, the core shrinking to an incredibly dense state. The surrounding layers of the star rush inward. The collapsing core rebounds violently, sending a shockwave outwards through the star. This marks the beginning of the supernova. The shockwave tears through the star, ripping apart its outer layers. A blinding flash of light erupts as the supernova explodes. The supernova expands rapidly, a brilliant, expanding nebula of gas and energy. The remnants of the star are scattered across space. A star violently explodes, ejecting a brilliant burst of light and energy. Newly synthesized elements are propelled outward in a rapidly expanding cloud. Stellar material expands at tremendous speeds, creating shockwaves in the surrounding space. The core of the star collapses, forming a neutron star or black hole. The expanding cloud of debris interacts with the interstellar medium, creating glowing nebulae. A long shot of the supernova remnant, showcasing the vast scale of the explosion and its impact on the cosmos. A vast expanding nebula of vibrant colors erupts from the remnants of a supernova. Tendrils of gas and dust reach outwards, illuminated by the energy of the explosion. Close up on the shockwave front as it plows through the interstellar medium. Atoms of newly synthesized elements like carbon, oxygen, and iron are visible as distinct points of light. A swirling vortex of gas and dust, enriched with heavy elements, slowly disperses into the surrounding space. New molecules are forming within these clouds. Time-lapse sequence showing the gradual expansion and dilution of the supernova ejecta over thousands of years. The elements are becoming increasingly integrated with the interstellar medium. An artist's impression of a protoplanetary disk forming around a young star within the enriched interstellar cloud. The disk contains the building blocks for new planets. A wide shot of the galaxy, showcasing the cycle of stellar birth, death, and rebirth. Supernova remnants contribute to the ongoing enrichment of the galactic environment. Vast expanse of the interstellar space. Wisps of gas and plasma begin to coalesce. Close up on ejected material cooling rapidly. Carbon atoms begin to bond. Oxygen molecules freeze and crystallize, forming the core of a dust grain. Iron particles collide and merge, adding metallic density to the forming grain. A cosmic dust grain, now fully formed, floats serenely in space, catching the light of a distant star. Wide shot of countless dust grains, illuminated and swirling gently, a vibrant nebula in the making. Vast expanse of interstellar space, a swirling nebula of cosmic dust and gases illuminated by distant starlight. Close up on a dense cloud of gas, revealing intricate patterns of swirling elements and vibrant colors. A shockwave ripples through the gas cloud, triggering a burst of star formation and scattering heavier elements. The newly formed stars ignite, their intense radiation further enriching the surrounding gas clouds with heavier elements. Wide shot of the interstellar space, showcasing the interconnected network of gas clouds and the ongoing cycle of cosmic enrichment. Vast swirling clouds of interstellar gas and dust, illuminated by the light of distant stars. The nebula shimmers with vibrant colors, reds, blues, and golds, indicating the presence of various elements. A close-up shot reveals denser pockets within the nebula. Gravity is at work, pulling these enriched gas clouds together. The swirling motion intensifies. Deep within these collapsing clouds, protostars begin to ignite. Pinpricks of intense light pierce through the surrounding gas, marking the birth of new stars. An artist's rendering shows a fully formed star system emerging from the nebula. Planets orbit the central star, hinting at the potential for new worlds and new beginnings. A vast protoplanetary disk swirls around a newly formed star, illuminated by its radiant light. The disk is a chaotic mix of gas and dust, remnants of previous stellar generations. Close up on the protoplanetary disk, revealing the diverse elements it contains. Specks of heavier elements, forged in the hearts of dying stars, are visible amidst the swirling gas. A time-lapse view of the protoplanetary disk showing the gradual formation of planetesimals as dust particles collide and coalesce under the force of gravity. An artist's rendering of the potential planets forming within the protoplanetary disk, each one unique in its composition and size, orbiting the central star. Extreme wide shot of a swirling protoplanetary disk illuminated by a young star at its center. Dust and gas particles are visible, creating a vibrant, colorful spectacle. Close-up of microscopic dust grains colliding in slow motion. Sparks of static electricity fly as they gently adhere to one another. Medium shot, following a growing planetesimal as it sweeps through the disk, collecting more and more dust and debris in its path. A miniature gravitational dance unfolds. Time-lapse shot showing the gradual accretion of planetesimals over eons. Small bodies merge and grow, forming larger and larger protoplanets. Wide shot of several protoplanets orbiting the central star, each at different stages of development. Some are still gathering material, while others are nearing completion. Close up on the surface of a molten protoplanet bombarded by asteroids and comets. The early stages of planetary formation are violent and chaotic. Extreme wide shot of the swirling protoplanetary disk around the young Sunday planetesimals begin to coalesce. Close up of planetesimals colliding and merging, gravity pulling them together. Iron, silicon, oxygen, and carbon are visible within the rocky bodies. Medium shot of a larger protoplanet sweeping through the disk, clearing its orbital path. The early Earth is growing, Wide shot of intense bombardment of the early Earth by asteroids and comets. Heat and energy are released upon impact. Close-up of molten rock flowing across the surface of the early Earth. Volcanic activity is rampant. Time-lapse. The Earth gradually cools and solidifies over millions of years. Oceans begin to form as water vapor condenses. A wide shot reveals the primordial Earth. Molten rock flows across the surface, punctuated by towering volcanoes spewing ash and lava into the toxic atmosphere. Close-up on a massive impact crater. A meteoroid slams into the surface, sending shockwaves through the molten rock and ejecting debris high into the atmosphere. Time-lapse shot showing the slow cooling of the Earth's crust. The molten surface gradually solidifies, forming the first landmasses. A vast turbulent ocean of liquid water begins to form as the planet cools. Steam rises from the surface, creating a thick, hazy atmosphere. Lightning flashes across the sky, illuminating the volcanic landscape and the churning ocean. The atmosphere is thick with volcanic gases and steam. A long shot shows the early Earth from space. A swirling, chaotic planet with a molten surface, active volcanoes, and a thick, toxic atmosphere. EXT, Space Day. A comet hurtles through the inky blackness, a streak of ice and rock against the stardusted canvas. It's on a collision course with a young, barren Earth. EXT, Early Earth Day. The comet slams into the Earth's surface, the impact cratering the landscape. Steam and debris erupt skyward, a cataclysmic event reshaping the planet. EXT, Early Earth Day, time-lapse. Over eons, countless comets and asteroids bombard the Earth, each one delivering its precious cargo of water. The planet's surface begins to cool. EXT, Early Earth Day. Rain begins to fall, a torrential downpour that lasts for centuries. Water fills the impact craters and low-lying areas, forming vast lakes and seas. EXT, Early Earth Day. A wide shot reveals a transformed Earth. Blue oceans cover much of the surface, reflecting the sunlight. Clouds swirl in the atmosphere. A vibrant, life-giving world in the making. Vast, primordial landscape. Volcanoes erupt, spewing gases into a thick, hazy atmosphere. Molten lava flows across the terrain, contrasting with nascent, hardy plant life struggling to take root. Close-up on a volcanic vent, releasing plumes of steam and various gases. The gases swirl and mix, creating a colorful, dynamic display in the atmosphere. Time-lapse sequence showing the gradual change in atmospheric composition over eons. The hazy atmosphere slowly clears, revealing a more transparent sky as biological processes alter the gas mixture. Wide shot of the planet's surface, now teeming with diverse plant life. The atmosphere is noticeably different, clearer and more breathable, showcasing the result of billions of years of atmospheric evolution. Vast, turbulent, primordial ocean under a fiery sky. Lightning strikes the water's surface. Close-up of the ocean's surface. Bubbles rise containing simple organic molecules forming. Time-lapse shot. Molecules join together, creating more complex structures. Early amino acids float in the water, a microscopic view. Lipid molecules self-assemble into a spherical membrane, forming a protocell. Inside the protocell, RNA strands replicate, driven by the energy of the environment. Wide shot. Multiple protocells drift in the ocean. The first sparks of life in a harsh world. A barren, primordial landscape. Volcanic activity dominates the horizon under a hazy orange sky. The first single-celled organisms emerge in shallow pools. Millions of years pass in a time-lapse. The atmosphere clears, and simple plant life begins to colonize the land. Shallow seas teem with early aquatic creatures. Vast forests of giant ferns and mosses cover the planet. Dinosaurs roam the land, and flying reptiles soar through the air. A meteor streaks across the sky. The age of mammals dawns. Lush grasslands replace the forests, and diverse animal species thrive. Early primates swing through the trees. Modern ecosystems flourish. A vibrant coral reef teems with life. A savanna supports herds of grazing animals, and a rainforest buzzes with insects and birds. The planet is a tapestry of interconnected life. A wide shot of a brightly lit biology lab. Various scientific instruments and models of the human body are visible. Close-up on a 3D model of the human body, highlighting the major elements: oxygen, carbon, hydrogen, nitrogen, calcium, and phosphorus. The elements are color-coded, animated graphics showing the percentage breakdown of these elements in the human body. Oxygen dominates, followed by carbon, hydrogen, etc. A scientist in a lab coat points to a periodic table, emphasizing the symbols for oxygen: O, carbon; C, hydrogen; H, nitrogen; calcium, Ca; and phosphorus. Microscopic view of cells, illustrating how these elements form the building blocks of human tissues and organs. A human silhouette gradually fills with the color-coded elements, visually representing the composition of the human body. Close-up of a periodic table, the element oxygen O is highlighted with a glowing aura. Animated diagram of the human body, oxygen molecules flowing through the bloodstream, highlighting the lungs and cells. Macro shot of red blood cells transporting oxygen, showcasing the exchange of oxygen and carbon dioxide at a cellular level. Montage of people breathing in various environments: a mountain climber, a diver underwater, a baby sleeping peacefully. Wide shot of a scientist in a lab coat studying a 3D model of a DNA strand, emphasizing the importance of oxygen in biological processes. Close up on a digital scale displaying 18% in large, bold numbers. The scale sits on a lab bench. Animated sequence: a swirling mass of carbon atoms gradually forms the outline of a human body. Montage: rapid cuts showcasing various organic molecules: proteins, DNA double helix, carbohydrates, glucose ring structures, and lipids, phospholipid bilayer. Close-up: a scientist's gloved hand points to a 3D model of a protein molecule, highlighting the carbon backbone structure. Animated sequence: carbon atoms linked together, forming long chains and complex ring structures, illustrating the backbone concept. Wide shot: a diverse group of students observes a holographic projection of the human body, with carbon atoms glowing brightly within the structure. Extreme close-up of a beaker filled with water. Tiny bubbles of hydrogen and oxygen are visibly separating. Zoom out to reveal a human body composition chart. Hydrogen is highlighted, showing its 10% mass proportion. Animated sequence: a water molecule, H2O, forms, highlighting the hydrogen atoms bonding with oxygen. Close-up of a DNA strand model. Hydrogen bonds are emphasized, showing their role in holding the structure together. Montage: various organic compounds, glucose, proteins, fats are displayed, each showing the presence of hydrogen atoms. Wide shot of a biology classroom. Students are observing a demonstration of electrolysis, producing hydrogen gas. Close-up on a textbook page illustrating the elemental composition of the human body. Highlight the 3% nitrogen component. Animated sequence: a nitrogen atom detaches from a larger molecule and floats through a stylized bloodstream. Visualization: a double helix DNA strand rotates slowly, with nitrogen atoms glowing to emphasize their presence in the structure. Montage: various food sources rich in protein, meat, beans, nuts are shown, visually connecting dietary intake to nitrogen levels in the body. Back to the textbook. A hand points to a diagram of an amino acid, circling the nitrogen-containing amine group. Close up on a digital scale displaying 1.5%, highlighting the proportion of calcium in the human body. Wide shot of a diverse group of scientists in lab coats examining a 3D model of a human skeleton, emphasizing bone structure. Medium SODE of a researcher using a microscope to analyze muscle tissue, focusing on the role of calcium in muscle function. Close up on a neuron firing, illustrating nerve signaling and the importance of calcium in transmitting signals. Montage of various foods rich in calcium, such as dairy products, leafy greens, and fortified cereals, emphasizing dietary sources. Overhead shot of a person exercising, highlighting the combined importance of calcium for bone strength, muscle contraction, and overall physical health. Close up on a periodic table, focusing on the squares for phosphorus, P, potassium, K, sulfur, Cs, sodium, Na, chlorine, Cl, and the magnesium. The camera subtly highlights each element as it's mentioned. Animated diagram of a human body. Small amounts of phosphorus are shown contributing to bone structure and energy production within cells. Animated diagram highlighting potassium's role in nerve function and muscle contractions. A visual representation of electrical signals firing along a nerve cell. Animated diagram showcasing sulfur's presence in proteins and enzymes, emphasizing its role in bodily functions. Zoom in on a protein structure, highlighting sulfur bonds. Montage of animated sequences. Sodium and chlorine regulating fluid balance. Magnesium contributing to muscle and nerve function. Text overlays briefly explain each element's role. Microscopic view of red blood cells flowing through a capillary. The cells are bright red and packed tightly together. Close up on a single red blood cell. Hemoglobin molecules are visible within, depicted as complex iron-containing structures. Animation showing an oxygen molecule binding to the iron atom within a hemoglobin molecule. The iron atom glows as it binds with oxygen. Wide shot of the circulatory system, highlighting the delivery of oxygen-rich blood to various organs and tissues throughout the body. Extreme close-up of a bone surface, revealing its crystalline structure. Tiny calcium phosphate crystals are densely packed together. Zoom out from the bone surface to show a cross-section of a bone. The outer layer, compact bone, appears dense and solid. Animation. A stylized representation of calcium phosphate molecules arranging themselves into a crystal lattice structure. Close-up of osteocytes, bone cells embedded within the bone matrix. Nutrients are seen flowing through tiny channels, canaliculi. Wide shot of a complete human skeleton. The bones are strong and rigid, providing support and protection. Animation. A force is applied to a bone. The calcium phosphate structure resists the force, demonstrating the bone's strength. Extreme close-up of a DNA double helix model, focusing on the individual atoms, carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, and phosphorus. The atoms are color-coded for clarity. Zoom out to reveal the full DNA double helix structure. The model is brightly lit, showcasing its intricate shape and composition. The backdrop is a blurred laboratory setting. Animated sequence. The DNA double helix unwinds, separating into two strands. Each strand is highlighted, showing the sequence of nucleotide bases: adenine, guanine, cytosine, and thymine. Montage. Rapid cuts showcasing the elements that compose DNA. Carbon atoms forming bonds, hydrogen atoms linking to other molecules, oxygen atoms providing stability, nitrogen atoms within the bases, and the phosphorus atoms in the backbone. A close-up shot reveals a vibrant 3D model of an amino acid molecule rotating slowly. Carbon atoms are depicted in black, hydrogen in white, oxygen in red, and nitrogen in blue. The camera focuses on the intricate bonds between the atoms. The camera zooms out to show a strand of mRNA being transcribed from a DNA molecule. The mRNA moves towards a ribosome. Animation highlights the carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, and nitrogen atoms within the nucleotides of the mRNA. Inside the ribosome, tRNA molecules, each carrying a different amino acid, arrive and bind to the mRNA. The amino acids are linked together, forming a growing polypeptide chain. The specific atoms C, H, O, N are subtly highlighted as each amino acid is added. The completed polypeptide chain folds into a complex three-dimensional protein structure. The camera pans across the protein, showcasing its intricate shape and highlighting the importance of each atom in maintaining its function. Text overlay: proteins, carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen. Extreme close-up of a mitochondrion, its intricate inner membrane structure highlighted. Text overlay: cellular respiration. Wide shot of a vibrant green leaf in sunlight. Internal structures become visible, leading to a chloroplast. Text overlay: photosynthesis. Animated sequence showing glucose molecules being broken down within the mitochondrion. Energy release is visualized as glowing particles. Close-up of water molecules and carbon dioxide entering a chloroplast. The process of converting these into glucose and oxygen is illustrated. Montage of various elements: carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, being incorporated into biological molecules. The building blocks of life. A cellular level view showing the transport of elements across the cell membrane. Emphasis on the importance of these elements for cellular function. Extreme wide shot of a swirling nebula, vibrant with colors of hydrogen, helium, and heavier elements. The nebula is vast and awe-inspiring, a cosmic crucible. Close-up of a star's core. Fiery plasma churns as hydrogen atoms fuse into helium, releasing tremendous energy. The process is violent and beautiful. Montage. Different stages of stellar nucleosynthesis. Helium fusing into carbon, carbon fusing into oxygen, and so on, up to iron. Each stage is represented by a unique visual effect. Supernova. A massive star explodes in a cataclysmic event, scattering newly synthesized elements into the cosmos. The explosion is blindingly bright and colorful. Wide shot of a young solar system forming. Dust and gas coalesce around a newborn star. The elements forged in previous generations of stars are now incorporated into planets and, eventually, life. Vast expanse of space, a supernova explosion erupts in vibrant colors, scattering elements outwards. Close up on the ejected material, swirling clouds of gas and dust containing newly forged elements. Wide shot of the interstellar medium, the scattered elements enriching the space between stars. Formation of a new star system, the enriched interstellar medium collapsing under gravity. Planets forming within the new star system, incorporating the elements from the supernova explosion. A vast nebula swirling with vibrant colors, illuminated by newborn stars. Gases and dust particles coalesce, forming new stellar nurseries. A massive star explodes as a supernova, scattering heavy elements into the surrounding space. The expanding shockwave interacts with interstellar gas. A cloud of gas and dust, enriched with elements from previous generations of stars, begins to collapse under its own gravity, initiating the formation of a new star system. A spiral galaxy showcasing the continuous cycle of star birth, death, and element dispersal. New stars ignite in the spiral arms while dying stars enrich the interstellar medium. A vast, dark expanse of space. Distant galaxies twinkle like diamonds scattered on black velvet. A massive star, nearing the end of its life, pulsates with intense energy. Its surface roils with nuclear fire. The star explodes in a supernova, a cataclysmic event that releases unimaginable amounts of energy and scatters heavy elements into the cosmos. A swirling nebula of gas and dust, the remnants of the exploded star. These elements, forged in the star's core, are the building blocks of future planets and life. A young solar system forms from the nebula. A rocky planet, Earth, coalesces in the habitable zone. A close-up of Earth, teeming with life. Lush forests, vast oceans, and diverse ecosystems thrive, all thanks to the elements seeded by dying stars. Close up. A child's eye reflects a star chart. The chart glows faintly. Wide shot. The child stands in a vast observatory dwarfed by a massive telescope. Sunlight streams through a high window. Close up. A scientist's hand points to a specific element on the periodic table displayed on a screen. Montage. Quick cuts of cosmic events. A supernova, a nebula forming, atoms colliding. Slow motion. Atoms from a star burst travel through space, eventually forming into the elements of the human body. Extreme close-up. A human cell, glowing with starlight energy, seamlessly transitions into a star in the night sky. EXT. Ancient ziggurat, DAY. Wide shot of a massive ziggurat under a clear sky. Priests in traditional robes observe the sun's position, marking the passage of time and seasons. INT, Ancient Temple Day, close up on a stone tablet inscribed with constellations and mythological figures. Sunlight streams through a high window, illuminating the intricate carvings. EXT, Ancient City, Night, a wide panoramic view of an ancient city under a starlit sky. People gather in the central plaza, gazing upwards in awe and reverence. INT, Royal Chamber, Day. A king sits on his throne, consulting with an astronomer. The astronomer points to a celestial map, explaining the influence of the stars on the kingdom's fate. Wide shot of a modern observatory perched on a mountaintop, telescopes pointed towards the sky. The sun shines brightly, illuminating the structure. Close up on a scientist's hands, adjusting the focus of a telescope. Their faces illuminated by the soft glow of the instrument panel. Montage. Rapid cuts showcasing various scientific instruments, spectrometers, radio telescopes, particle accelerators, all gathering data. Animated graphic, a visualization of the cosmic microwave background radiation, illustrating the afterglow of the Big Bang. Wide shot, a diverse group of people gazing up at the night sky, a sense of wonder and connection to the cosmos on their faces. A wide shot of a modern observatory dome against a clear blue sky. The dome is open, revealing a large telescope inside. Close up on the telescope's lens, slowly zooming in to simulate the vast distance it can cover. Light glints off the polished surface. A visual representation of star formation within a nebula, showcasing vibrant colors and swirling gases. This could be a CGI or artistic interpretation. A graphic overlay on a galaxy image, highlighting the different elements created within stars and their distribution across the cosmos. Text annotations explain the process of cosmic evolution. A spectroscope analyzes starlight, splitting it into a spectrum of colors. Spectral lines indicate the presence of specific elements. Close up on the spectral lines. An overlay highlights the elements: hydrogen, helium, carbon, oxygen, and nitrogen. Montage. Images of the human body, DNA strands, cells, organs, juxtaposed with the elemental symbols from the spectroscope. Final shot. A wide shot of the laboratory, transitioning to a star-filled night sky. The connection between starlight and human composition is visually emphasized. A lone figure stands silhouetted against the vast, star-studded night sky, head tilted upwards in awe. Close-up on the figure's face, eyes wide with wonder as they gaze at the cosmos above. Wide shot of a telescope pointing towards the heavens, capturing the immensity of space. Time-lapse of constellations slowly moving across the night sky, emphasizing the passage of time and the universe's constant motion. The figure turns away from the sky, a contemplative expression on their face, suggesting a newfound sense of perspective. A wide shot of a vast, star-filled galaxy slowly rotating. The sheer scale emphasizes the smallness of Earth. Close-up of a nebula, vibrant with colors of gas and dust, highlighting the beauty and chaos of cosmic creation. A time-lapse sequence showing the formation of a star from a collapsing cloud of gas, illustrating the dynamic nature of the universe. An astronaut looking out of a space station window, contemplating the Earth below, a tiny blue marble in the vast darkness. A microscopic view of a single cell dividing, mirroring the cosmic expansion and the intricate processes of life. A person standing on a beach at sunset, looking up at the stars. A moment of quiet reflection on our place in the cosmos. A wide shot of a person looking through a large telescope, gazing at the stars. The observatory is filled with natural light. Close-up on the person's eye as they look through the telescope. Reflected in their eye is a swirling galaxy. A montage of cosmic images, nebulae, galaxies, and star clusters, emphasizing the vastness and beauty of the universe. The person steps away from the telescope, a serene expression on their face, as they realize their connection to the stardust around them. A wide shot of a child looking through a large telescope, eyes wide with wonder. The telescope is pointed towards the daytime sky, close up on the child's face, reflecting the light from the telescope's lens. A sense of awe and curiosity is evident. A slow zoom out from the telescope to reveal the vastness of the observatory, emphasizing the smallness of the child in comparison to the universe they are observing. An aerial view of the observatory, nestled in a remote, mountainous landscape, symbolizing humanity's quest for knowledge and understanding of the cosmos. A vast, star-filled nebula, swirling with cosmic dust and light, slowly rotates, revealing its immense scale and beauty. Close-up on a human hand reaching out, fingers spread, as if trying to grasp the starlight filtering through the atmosphere. A time-lapse sequence of a single flower blooming, showcasing its delicate petals unfurling towards the sun, symbolizing resilience. A wide shot of a person standing on a mountaintop at dawn, silhouetted against the vibrant colors of the rising sun, contemplating the horizon. Abstract, macro shot of human skin, revealing the intricate patterns and textures, subtly highlighting the stardust within us. Close up on a human eye, intricate details visible in the iris. Zoom out rapidly to reveal the Earth from space, a vibrant blue marble against the black void. Continuous zoom out, passing through the solar system, planets orbiting the sun, asteroids, and comets. Further zoom out to encompass the Milky Way galaxy, then countless other galaxies, finally reaching the observable universe, a vast and awe-inspiring cosmic panorama. An extreme wide shot reveals Earth as a tiny blue marble suspended in the vast blackness of space. Epic music begins to swell. The camera slowly zooms out, showcasing the solar system with planets orbiting the sun, emphasizing the increasing scale of the cosmos. Continuing the zoom out, the solar system becomes a small part of the Milky Way galaxy, a swirling disk of stars and nebulae. The music intensifies. The camera reaches an unimaginable distance, displaying countless galaxies scattered throughout the observable universe, highlighting the truly epic scale of the cosmos. The music reaches its crescendo, filled with awe and wonder. Extreme wide shot. A vast expanse of space, faint, ethereal light permeates the darkness. Distant galaxies swirl like cosmic dust. Wide shot. Emerging from the galactic backdrop, a human-shaped silhouette begins to form, composed of glowing embers and stardust. Medium shot. The human form becomes more defined. The ashes burn with a soft, internal light, outlining the figure's contours. Close up. Focus on the faces of the figure. The burning embers flicker, suggesting a sense of ancient knowledge and enduring energy. Wide shot. The complete human form, now brightly illuminated, stands as a testament to the life cycle of stars and their lasting impact on the universe. A vast swirling nebula fills the screen, colors of deep blues, purples, and reds intermingling like paint in water. Stars twinkle like distant diamonds. Zoom in on a single star within the nebula. It explodes in a supernova, scattering elements across the cosmos. These elements coalesce over billions of years, forming planets. One planet, Earth, is shown teeming with life, close up on a human face, looking up at the night sky with wonder. The eyes reflect the starlight, a connection to the cosmic origins